Hi everyone, Amy Love here, and I am here today to share with you how I made this fabric cuff, which is so stinking adorable. I love it. So what you'll need is some muslin is what I used, and you're going to have to measure it on your wrist. So my piece of muslin was about 5 3/4 inches long. And I didn't even measure the width, but you just want it to be long enough to fit whatever stamp you're using. And I used this beautiful Zen butterfly. Love this stamp. So I used that. So I made it wide enough to fit that. And so I have 3 layers of that muslin cut the same size. And then I cut, you need some ribbon so that you can tie your cuff up when it's finished. And then I used some distress ink and black soot. And I used this sparkly embossing black with a glitter finish. Love this so much. And a blending tool and some stickles. And that's all you need. And you can make your own cuff. So I'm going to show you how. Let's get started. Okay, so I have my piece of muslin cut and ready and on my cutting board to be stamped. I have to use a cutting board because my table is very wonky. And I've got the beautiful Zen butterfly mounted to this acrylic block, and I am going to ink it up with the black soot distress ink. Oh, my little fairy's hair is in the way of the camera there. Oops, sorry. Okay, so I am going to load this up really well because you want, especially when you're doing it on fabric, you really need to have a lot of ink on, and you want it to be, if you're going to heat emboss like I'm going to do, I'm going to need it to stay wet, and ink tends to dry quickly on fabric. So it's kind of like a speedy process. So she's all inked up and beautiful and ready to go, and now I'm just going to put it right in the middle, and I'm going to press it down, all down real good, because you want to get it all in the fabric. Then I'm just going to lift it. It's gorgeous. I'm going to put it in my tray and hurry up and sprinkle on my glitter black embossing powder. Go, 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 go. Okay. Right now that I have the powder on everywhere, I can go ahead and put the lid back on my ink before I make a big mess, because that's usually what I do. I'm going to set my stamp to the side. And now I'm going to shake it off and see what kind of image we got. Oh, we did good. Look, it's beautiful. And we are going to brush off that extra. But first, let me put this up because I am prone to messes. So I just want to take care of that real quick before I make a big mess. Now, if I make a mess, it won't be as big. So yay. Get the lid on. All right, so let me give it a couple more taps. And now I'm going to try to brush it off. Now, the thing about embossing on fabric is you're not going to get as clean of an image as you would on paper, because this embossing powder it sticks. It sticks to fabric. It's hard to get off. Okay, I'm going to move that out of my way to brush off some more of this. But I'm not too worried. It's still going to be so pretty because it's going to be on a cuff, so it'll be nice to have like little black sparkles everywhere. But I do want to get it clean. So this is kind of a stiffer bristle brush. It's not a soft one because I need the stiff one. It seems to work better in this situation. All right. Ooh, just to be careful not to brush on your image. You don't want to lose any of that stuff there. That's why I did it in black ink also. I stamped it in black ink also, so if I accidentally rubbed off some of the embossing powder, you wouldn't really be able to tell because it's all black. So the tricky part is up in here. So I'm going to try to loosen the powder a little bit and then kind of blow it off. It's very technical. Oh, I got some furries in there. Let me get that off. Okay. All right, that's looking better. Do the same thing on the side. Okay, all right, that's good enough. Okay, now we're going to heat emboss it. I like to heat it up before I touch it, before I heat the powder. And you want to be careful on fabric because it is very easy to burn fabric. So you just cannot leave it too long in one spot. So I got to keep it moving, but I still want to melt my powder. There we go. Oh, it's so cute. Look at how cute it is. See, it's not a perfect image. Might be able to brush off some stuff. But it's still very cute. So let's make our cuff. So to put the cuff together, I am going to use 3 pieces of muslin. You could use felt in the middle if you wanted to, but then it makes it a little bit warm on your wrist, so it's really just your personal preference. But the reason I need the fabric in the middle is so that you won't, I'm going to put the ties on the last layer and put the other 2 on front. That way you won't be able to see the tie so much through the front layer. So I'm actually going to use 4 ties, because you want to kind of get them close up to the edge, because what will happen is these corners will curl if you just have one tie in the middle. So I don't want that to happen, so I'm actually going to put the ties there and then the same place on this other side. Now you could just glue it down, that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and sew it because I like the contrast of the black thread around the edges. And I'm not going to have finished edges because I want to fray them, because you know I like things to be shabby. So I will show you what it looks like after I get that finished. But I got it sewn together and I have distressed up the edges, but now I need to add a little sparkle. Even though the embossing powder was a sparkly black embossing powder, it doesn't have nearly enough sparkle for me, and I'm the one who's wearing it, so we're going to sparkle it up. So I'm going to be using stickles because that's what I have. I'm using some mermaid tail, some of the silver, and I'm just putting them in a little lid like this. Now the Stickles gel that is available at Lavinia World, it will work perfect for this also. And then I'm going to use some of the Stardust, and I'm just going to put them in there. And I am going to use this blending tool, which is also available at Lavinia World, and I'll have all the links below. And I kind of just mix them all together, and then I'm literally just rubbing it around to get all the different colors sparkle everywhere. Oh yes, I love it. Get every last bit. Okay. I love it. So I hope that you can see the sparkle. So I'm going to let that dry, and then I will put it on and take some pictures to tack on here at the end. So I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial and that you'll give it a try, and I'll see you guys on the next one.